What's up, everyone? Ryan here, aka the Ryan. We're back in Winds of Change. If I sound tired, it's because I'm doing another marathon of these to get a bunch of episodes out and try to get to the end of the game! Last time we were here, we attacked the library, found some revelations. This dude has been, basically, since the Triumvirate created, or recreated the world, he's been spreading propaganda for them. We're just gonna keep going.
I'm sure there's private quarters around here somewhere.
In a library.
If you can't sleep, at least there's a lot of books to read. After the war, we should give this knowledge back to the people.
Well, libraries are supposed to be public, so, you know.
Yeah, I agree. The Triumvirate can't hide this stuff forever. We finally have proof that nobody can deny. This is amazing. If we show them this, they'll accept our rule without question.
Man, that sounds a little tyrannical, but okay. Dominic smiles, his spirits seemingly lifted.
Yeah. Let's hope you're right. Have a good night, everybody.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was waiting for you to say all of you! Man, it's like the more and more this game goes on, it's like you notice the small things. I didn't really notice too many, if at all, at the beginning. Was everyone just getting tired at this point? Oh my god, I can't believe I'm actually going to be wondering as to the process of creating this game. With that, we're all left on our own. People scatter about, reading books and exploring the library. I decide to look for a private room so I can relax and gather my bearings. No option to choose anywhere, so we're literally just trucking along. Oh, looky-loo! Visions? Nope, this just side. But, man, we don't even get the option to, like, check that stuff out. That was options. It was Act 5 just rushed? Did you decide, like, okay, no more random choices of where to go and when and what side stories to read out? Or I'm actually starting to get curious as to the process of making this game. Halen returns to the chambers of the Triumvirate. Noticing the absence of Shane, they're a bit confused. They don't assume the worst and ask Halen to brief them.
Shane stayed behind to lead the naval attack. He plans to trim their forces as much as possible. Like you anticipated, they're arriving by sea.
Well, how else were we going to arrive?
Good. Then things are going according to plan. We'll have you wait in the atrium for their arrival. This means that you'll be our last line of defense.
If they turn out to be human, oh my god, that would be one hell of a twist.
I consider it an honor. But I have to say, I'm worried for Shane. His chances of survival are pretty slim out there.
The husk of a thing created by a sword that the Triumvirate fuckers found in a ditch thinks it's people.
He knew what he was signing up for. If he killed even one of the rebels, then he was successful. Focus on protecting this castle, Halen. That's more important.
Well, he himself? No, he did not!
Yes, of course. I'll make sure no one passes the atrium. If they try, they'll fall as quickly as they enter.
Bets.
Thank you, Halen. It's important that they have a false sense of security. Don't give them too much resistance until it's absolutely necessary.
So it is just one giant trap. Obviously, a duh.
If they think they're going to win, they're more prone to slipping up. It's up to you to figure out when that moment is, and take advantage of it. Even if it takes your life, you ought to prevent them from entering our chambers.
Halen kneels, complying without hesitation.
Yes, of course. My life for the Triumvirate. I'll fortify straight away, and wait for their arrival.
Halen strides out of their chambers with a sense of purpose. After he leaves, they turn to each other, displaying soft smiles.
Hopefully this time, things will be different.
Oh, that's right, we're on a time loop that Howl was discussing, and I totally fucking believe him. That's a cool statue. Damn. I would actually get that. After finding a private room, I pace around in circles. I've had nothing but bad luck when it comes to getting rest. Ever since we left Museo, I've been too worried to fall asleep. I try reading books, but none of them are able to capture my interest. Pacing the room, I basically succumb to the anxiety insulting my mind. However, and thankfully, a knock on my door soon returns me to lucidity. As soon as I open it, Dominic enters. He takes a deep breath, sounding both annoyed and relieved. I don't blame him. He's gone through so much in such a short time.
We finally put the librarian to rest. He sure likes to talk a lot, and about nothing at all.
I know the type.
Lots of answers in the form of riddles. Boring stuff.
I know the type.
It's pretty interesting that he didn't resist, though. He said he won't help us, but he won't stop us either. His true allegiance is to history. That's what he kept saying. Doesn't make much sense since he faked so much history in the past. But no matter what happens next, he'll have a lot to write about. If we win, he'll record it. If we lose, then he'll record that too.
So he is the literal center of the chaotic scale of pure neutral. You can't hate that. I guess the stance makes more sense if you look at it that way. No matter what happens next, somebody would need to write about it.
His main condition was that we don't harm the library. Pretty good terms, especially in exchange for a foothold. We may not have won yet, but we've seized Baltean soil.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Nobody else has ever gone this far. I can tell that we stand a good chance of winning, and it feels amazing. But I have to ask, how do we know that this Algius can be trusted? He can't!
We don't. But he can't do much if he's locked up. Any chance he had at intervening is long gone by now. He can try when we leave, but we'll be prepared to fight by then.
I nod, thanking Dominic for the update on what's going on.
Of course. I just wanted to make sure you were all right. It must be hard to sleep right now, given all the weight on your shoulders. The others aren't sleeping either. Maybe you should spend some time with them.
Is that your cough, cough, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, that this is probably my final time to talk with anyone before we die? He's right. If I can't sleep, then it's probably the next best idea. But I wonder if our bonds are strong enough to warrant such time to... okay, is this where the loyalty shit comes into play? Holy shit, wait, did I get everyone's loyalty then? Am I going to get a bunch of conversations? This night could be our last night alive, after all. They might be more protective of their time. I guess there's no harm in checking. I see him out of my room with a new goal in mind. Turning back to face the vast emptiness of this private room, I wonder who I could invite over. This could be a good night to make some final... Dude, when you put it that way, what the hell? Just in case the worst came to pass. You can spend final one-on-one time with every loyal comrade. Click the arrow on the top right corner when I'm ready to blah 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 blah. Oh, this will be... Oh. Okay, everyone, this episode is dedicated to the final one-on-ones. Everyone gets a cute little figurine except for Sophie. Ow! Okay. I think I will go in the order of meow, ending with Valessa, which final night to create some memories. Is that cigarettes burning? Actually, if it was me, it would probably be cigars. I'd be smoking like it's my last night on Earth. Sophie? There's a knock at my door, more urgent sounding than I anticipated. It couldn't possibly be time to launch the attack. It must be something else. As soon as I open it, Sophie steps into the room, a look of anxiety on his face.
Sorry. I just needed to get away from that Atrium Monarch. Everybody keeps telling me what to do, and it's getting on my nerves. I have no problem helping out your cause, but it's my choice to do so.
You take it with a grain of salt. You kind of came into the rebellion a bit late, so don't, you're kind of still lower on the ranking systems. Don't take it personally.
I followed enough orders while I was under the Triumvirate's control. Joining you and your army, I thought I'd finally be a free man. I mean, I guess I am. Ignore me. I'm just complaining.
Well, think of it this way. You are now free enough to tell someone to fuck off your furry dick. Oh god, that's not even a joke. That's actually right. He shrugs and starts wandering around the room. I tell him that it's okay. He shouldn't have to follow orders here. I give him free rein to do whatever he sees as the most useful.
You know, that's why I like you. You're the only person who lets me do what I want. Everybody else keeps me at arm's length, commanding me.
I personally just don't give a flying fuck. Do what you want.
After all I've been through, I think I want to be the commander. I always thought I'd been meant for more than what I was given. When I met you, and you accepted my offer, I knew I was right.
Yeah, just so long as the things you choose to do are not illegal.
At first, I only planned to help you until we took down Halen. But we've grown so close, and your comrades are so accepting. I've never felt such a sense of belonging. A sense, perhaps, of family.
If I wasn't lazy in editing, I'd have Vin Diesel, like, slowly come into frame somewhere, or poking his head up from the window. With a smile, he takes a book from the shelf and opens it up.
You know, I've been reading about the monarchy. They seem to be more similar to the Triumvirate than we thought.
I was starting to get that.
The Triumvirate demands perfection. The monarchy sought the perfect future. And it seems like neither group cared about what costs they paid. But it's impossible to pinpoint the moment the monarchy was imprisoned. Many of these books are dated with a system I'm unable to decipher.
So it sounds like both parties were kind dicks?
So how advanced was the monarchy when the Triumvirate took action? Were they silencing a real threat? Or perhaps a potential threat? One is more acceptable than the other, but neither are just. I find myself wondering what would happen if someone opposed the monarchy. What if somebody got in the way of them and their perfect future? Would they be killed, just like enemies of the Triumvirate?
Simon says yes.
And furthermore, how did they possess foresight to begin with? You inherited it from them. But where did they get it from? Sorry for rambling. There's just so many questions.
Oh, no, by all means, I'm most likely chock full of more questions than you right now. Let's be confused together!
It might be best to just forget the monarchy ever existed.
Oh, no, we must
Start
remember the
over
past.
From scratch, under the banner of the rebellion. Why reclaim a world for someone who would be your enemy? The Triumvirate controls us in an attempt to keep everything pure. The monarchy, too, controlled their subjects, just for a different reason. We want to live free, right? Free to do what we want and live how we want.
I nod.
Why settle for the lesser of two evils? Forget the Triumvirate. Forget the monarchy. Carve your own path. Follow none, tread by others.
Which is why we shouldn't forget the monarchy. Don't forget your past. I shake my head, unsure how to react. This world didn't belong to the Triumvirate, but not to us either. We are simply their creation, given free will by the monarchy. This seems to have been a conquest meant to reclaim their world. They may not be alive to see it happen, but we should rule it like they did. I have the blade too, and I was from Valinnorth. I always look toward the future. All those things considered, I was uniquely qualified to rule. No, I wasn't. I couldn't just use everything they gave me and then throw away their ideals.
You don't understand.
He throws the book aside and pins me against the wall. I stand strong, meeting his gaze, almost as if issuing a direct challenge. His grip is strong, and I can tell he's really passionate about this subject.
If you let them control your actions, then you'll never truly be free. No matter who you align with, you'll inherit ideals that harm, like poison. You need to look to the past, not the future. Avoid the mistakes they made.
I feel like we should probably have a balance when you think about it. After a few moments of silence, he releases his grip on my body. He turns around and looks away, as if he's ashamed of his actions.
I apologize, Monarch. I let my emotions get the better of me. Around you, I feel almost free to express them.
I tell him not to worry, and I accept his apology. His allegiance, at its core, has always been to the world. He just wanted me to take care of it when it was in my hands.
It's probably best if we forget this ever happened.
Yeah.
I'll get back to what I was doing and see you in the atrium. After all, we don't have much time left. We've come to the end
of our lives. Before he leaves, I make sure to tell him that he's made a good point. In the future, if his views ever differ, I request that he feel free to speak up. Aruna needs some people to help them walk the right path, myself included.
Very well.
With a nod, he leaves the room. I pick up the book he threw and put it back on the shelf. As time goes by, I feel the weight of the world rest upon my shoulders. If we won, the real work would begin. We had to win the people over and figure out how we'd handle Alestia. Because of Sylvie, I'm now filled with doubt. Was there any right to rule the world? Was there any right way to rule the world? No! I don't know. I really don't. All we can do is avoid mistakes of the past, which is why we don't forget it. You may not like the events of the past, but we must learn them and embrace it so we can learn from it. All we can do... All I could do was hope that these new mistakes didn't harm the world. I meant well, but at the end of the day, that doesn't really count for much. The Triumvirate and the Monarchy both went well, and look what happened. Mr. Howell! Final time with the Howley man. The walking corpse. I haven't forgotten him. As I'm browsing random books, I hear a knock at my door. It's Howell. I let him in and ask him how things are going. I don't know why I asked. It's clear what the answer was.
They all worry. They fear that death will come for them. An understandable fear, however. This is the end of our journey. We will face more danger than ever before as we move forward. Algus, however, isn't making things any easier. He plants seeds of doubt in many of our soldiers, Monarch. Words are a writer's greatest weapon. A gag would be effective.
I'm surprised you didn't. It's unclear if this is a joke, but it gets a smile from me regardless.
He says that we are the true enemy, the Monarchy. He says that if you knew the truth of our people, you would run. You would no longer fight for us, as we endangered innocent worlds.
Worlds is in plural? This multiverse thing is getting very reminiscent of Major Minor, my guy.
It is not true, however. His mind has been twisted beyond repair. But many soldiers are starting to doubt. What if he is telling the truth? Could they save their lives by switching sides in the final moments?
That is unacceptable. We couldn't afford any turncoats.
The Monarchy made mistakes, as any group of people do. Like Dominic said, mistakes are how we learn and grow. Bad choices, while bad, are our right as people to make. They cast us aside in a prison, taking away our ability to choose. And in doing so, they took away our ability to live in freedom. No matter our crimes, this punishment is far too severe.
I agree. I could never be turned against the Monarchy. The Triumvirate imprisoned them because they endangered worlds? A hypocritical thing to say, as they hurt Alessia at the very same time.
But, we must say, it was a battle that we lost fair and square. We was so focused on our own future that we lost sight of everyone else's. It doesn't surprise us that our perfect future came at the expense of others. If it leads to happiness in the end, How can you decide what cost is too high? This is the line that all tyrants seem to walk in the early days of their rule. Many have fallen to the wrong side, Monarch. We trust that you will not.
I don't see myself stooping to the level of the enemy anytime soon.
We know that Domik wishes to gift all this knowledge to the people. These books capture almost the entire history of the monarchy. This may not be a good idea. They may read of our mistakes.
Well, it's good that we read up on the mistakes, because then we can, learn from them. Maybe even understand that nobody's fucking perfect.
And those mistakes may just inspire future insurrections. We think it may be best to destroy the monarchy entirely, burn these books, and remove the spirits from this body.
I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? That was certainly extreme. Both ends. The burning of this building down to cinder and doing what?
These books shouldn't exist at all, Monarch. We don't know why the Triumvirate keeps them lying around. If our oppression was their goal, then they should have destroyed them. Right now, they exist as a testament to our imprisonment. As long as they remain intact, they will be only a harmful memory. They should be destroyed. Allow my people and our history to rest.
Well, this is all coming out of nowhere, but it makes sense. It does. What, if I bash my head against that stone right there a few times and then do some meth? He is the monarchy embodied. This must be a horrific sight for him. I mean, seeing the collection of all of your past mistakes in one spot, yeah, I guess I could imagine the cringe. His entire culture stolen. In prison, just like him and his people.
This is why we ask that you look toward the future, Monarch. Do not concern yourself with who we were, or what we were like. Order this library to be destroyed. Live life on your own terms.
I seriously think we need a good balance between looking towards the future and remembering the past, my gamer. I don't know what to say, so I just stare him in silence.
This started back during our journey into Eastcrown. This body could not survive the cold. The spirits inside helped, but in doing so, they died. We are weaker than we were back then.
I don't need to hear that you're weaker right now. I need you to fight.
Weaker, but more in tune with everything around us. Almost like a weight was lifted from our shoulders. We would like you to lift this weight even further.
I kind of think we are, okay, multiple things here. Are you about to give me a choice?
Please, use that blade. Absorb the souls inside of us. Leave one behind. And let us feel what it is like to be alive. After the weight is gone from our shoulders, lift it from the world.
What? He looks around the room to the various books scattered around.
You must absorb these souls and destroy the books. Only then will the monarchy be truly removed from history, as our mind will be better for it. So too will the world itself.
What? I don't know how to respond to what he's asking me. He wants me to... I'm sorry. I woke up this morning, and I did not ever once anticipate me reading this following line. He wants me to commit mass genocide against them. Fellas, find yourself a woman who wants to be like, I want you to commit mass genocide. No, don't ever find a woman like that. Don't listen to me. This is all happening so fast, I'm unsure how I should respond.
You would not be killing us. We have long since been dead. It would be an act of mercy upon a group of oppressed people. We can no longer live. The Triumvirate stole that right from us. But if you can take our spirits and use it to power the blade, maybe it will give you the edge you need to win this yourselves. We may have lost, but that doesn't mean you need to as well.
I think you need to calm down and have a glass of milk, gamer, because,
These spirits may linger, and the books may remain, but the truth of it is, we're dead. We need to be buried. Our very existence is born from a denial of that death. If you leave one soul, we will use this body to fight for you. We may fall in combat, but nothing of value would be lost. We cannot help our own people, so we must help yours.
I knew that eventually he'd have to tackle this nature of his existence, but I didn't expect to be confronted with it on the eve of the final battle. He wants to accept defeat, have the souls removed and books destroyed. If I did that, there'd be no physical remains of the monarchy. I had the spirits inside of me, but I was still my own person, able to live free. We're talking about the extinction of an entire group of people. I don't know.
We understand if this is too much to ask, Monarch, but we think this is the right course of action for everybody. Don't be scared to hurt us. You cannot harm what is already dead.
I mean, that's why I'm a zombie hunter, my guy, but we can't have this conversation after the war. Oh, gee, that one caught me by surprise. I am so sorry. I am not drunk, by the way. Shut up. We can't have this conversation after the war, after we probably don't need all able bodies, all able working hands on deck, living or undead.
The spirits would be more useful in the blade than this body. But like we said, one can remain to aid you in fighting. What do you say, Monarch? What will you do?
I'm gonna leave you for right now, my dude. I'm gonna leave you for right now, because we kind of need everyone on their A game. That, and I think your head is swimming because you're surrounded by old harmful memories of your past and your loss and shit like that. We can do this when you're way more level-headed. You know, like after the war. You can't destroy history. If I do nothing but look to the future, are we not then following the same footsteps of the... Oh my god, this is exactly what Sylvie was talking about. Oh my god, I'm glad I brought Sylvie along! I couldn't do it. I couldn't be responsible for their extinction. I can think of one friend right now who would be mashing the extinction... I nearly broke my finger on the desk. Who would be mashing the Actually, now that I think about it, I know a few friends who would mash the extinction key. Even if they were already dead, I couldn't be the one to end it. I let him know that fact, and I can tell he's immediately upset.
Very well, Monarch. It is a mistake, but it is your mistake to make. After all, you still live, free to make your own choices.
I don't remember ever seeing the angry face, but okay. With a stern look on his face, he storms out of the room. I can tell that I let him down, but I think I made the right choice. As I turn back to face the room, I keep telling myself that fact. Oh, he's gonna kill us. Who's next? Mr. Domick. It's just, they're all seated outside like this is my office, and I have a secretary calling the next one in. I invite Dominic over to my private room, and he looks around, astonished. Wait, he was just here! We couldn't have this talk then? Even though he's seen it before. He acts as if it's his first time. I don't blame him. The room is surely a sight to behold.
What a sight, Monarch. I assume this is where Algis would normally sleep. But he's not going anywhere in his current state.
Yeah, where exactly is he locked up? It's weird this has an actual living room inside of it. I can't imagine there's an actual dungeon.
I talked to him for a while and he seems unstable. Years of serving the Triumvirate will do that to you, I guess. Even after I told him what Hal was, he still lives in ignorance. Well, maybe ignorance isn't the right word. He knows what the Triumvirate is and still chooses to serve them. You know, I wonder how the people will react when they find out.
There's probably going to be a couple of more wars after this.
Algus knows and chose not to rebel or fight back. Maybe our victory here will be just the start of another battle. Not literally, of course, but we'll fight to show everyone the truth.
Oh no, there's going to be a literally. He shifts, almost like he's feeling a bit uncomfortable.
I have to ask you something, though. If the people don't respect your rule, what will you do? Will you work hard to earn it? Or will you demand it through fear?
What the hell is this dick thing? Dude. Both of these are actually a better answer. Like, of course I'm going to try to work hard and earn it the right way. But a good leader needs to have some sternness to them.
I suppose you're right. But don't lean too heavily on the side of fear. You don't want to become the enemy we're taking down.
Exactly, which is why a good ruler also surrounds themselves with sane, sound-minded people to help them. Balance!
They definitely rule through fear, Monarch. But the rebellion isn't afraid to speak up and shut them down. Sometimes using fear just inspires others to contest your rule.
That is agreed, but at the same time, one must still come off as strong and stern, one who can put down trouble. He shrugs, realizing it's probably a good idea to change the subject. We need to secure victory before deciding what we do with it. It's clear he wants to avoid talking about the upcoming battle.
It just makes me wonder who the Triumvirate really is. They aren't gods. I doubt they made the Blade of Exodus. There's a chance that they're just like us, using power to achieve their goals. And they say that power corrupts. You've heard that, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if they were just like us in the past? What'll happen next? Will we just go on to become tyrants that the people despise?
Well, I don't know about y'all on what happens after I go home to my Earth. I shake my head. We wouldn't stoop so low.
Nobody starts their journey at the peak power, Monarch. The Triumvirate wasn't born into this role. They fought for it. It's even likely they took down foes of their own too.
Yeah, the monarchy.
But what foe would that be? And what was their goal? What I'm trying to say is, I think the blade should be destroyed. Once we achieve our goal, we have no use for it anymore. Right?
I will cross that bridge when I get to it, dude.
If you keep it, you risk relying on its power. And I don't want to see what that does to you, Monarch. Not if it's even anything close to what it's done to our enemies.
Right now, I think the blade is also my only ticket home.
I don't see any reason to keep it around after the war is over. So tell me, if you get the chance to destroy it, will you?
I mean, this one just makes me sound like a dick. But yeah, after I'm done with it, what am I gonna do? Bring it back to my Earth as a fucking souvenir? I'm brain scrubbing myself. Destroy it for all I fucking care.
Good. There's no place for a weapon like that in this world. I feel like whoever wields it will be led down a dark path. I just hate to see that happen to you. I really would.
Well, how thoughtful. He looks away from me, sad.
I just want to know what kind of hands the world will be left in. I'm just asking you these questions because I'm scared, you know? I might not survive the battle. I might not live to see your reign.
Look, heavens, universe, whatever willing, neither will I. That much was true. Even my survival wasn't guaranteed.
I'd hate for us to die. Especially after how far we've come. But we're about to fight the Triumvirate. It's a real possibility. All we can really do is ensure that we fight with no regrets.
Regrets.
Now, I have my fair share of regrets, that much is certain. But with your help, I'd like to put some of them to rest. I've been wanting to for a while, but I'm just scared.
Please tell me this is not going to be one of those awkward conversations that changes our friendship for the rest of our lives. Scared? I think I know what he's getting at.
You know, shaking your hand is such a simple thing. Yet I cower in fear whenever somebody offers it to me. Even the thought of it is enough to fill me with anxiety.
Right.
But you know what? So does fighting the Triumvirate. Despite that fact, I'm standing strong and ready to fight. So, what do you say? To the fall of the Triumvirate?
Yeah, I'll shake to that. He holds out his hand, and I can see it shaking. Ask him if he's sure. This is a big deal, after all.
Of course I'm sure. It's time to get over this silly fear. You know, we'll be dealing with a lot of people after this is over. Not being able to shake the hands of our subjects. That's not good.
Mm-hmm.
After all we've been through, I just think you deserve the honors. And I can think of no better toast than a toast to the fall of our enemies. So, like I said, let's do this and move forward as a stronger people.
There you go, everyone. If Dominic can gather the balls to do a simple handshake, you can get out of bed and do the thing. Make me proud. Yeah, a stronger people. I shake his hand with a firm grip. If he was scared, he doesn't show it.
This is all thanks to you, Monarch. It really is. You told me to leave behind those memories of my past. At first I thought it would dishonor the memory of my mother. But I'm not forgetting about her. I could never do that. I'm just forgetting about the pain I felt on that fateful day. And with that gone, I can handle anything that comes my way.
Woohoo! He leaves the room with the biggest smile on his face. I know that this was a big step for him, and he's incredibly proud. If he used that pride on the battlefield, then our enemy stood no chance. Just like he said, that triumvirate would fall, and we would be victorious. Next! Ulrich! Spend some final time with Ulrich. As I'm lost in thought, a knock at the door jolts me awake. Without hesitation, I open it up, and Ulrich steps inside. He seems calm. He's seen tons of battle in his lifetime.
Hey, Monarch. I just wanted to come see you. We won't be getting much sleep tonight after all.
It's true, and I don't blame anybody for it. Especially Ulrich. We're fighting his former masters. This would be harder on him than it would be for us.
I can't stop thinking about our visit to Alarinthia. You know, I broke your nose and I feel awful about that. But I couldn't let you get in the way and compromise our plan.
Nah, I'm not angry about that. By the way, everybody, in case you didn't know, obviously, if I'm just going to do all the final one-on-one, heart-to-heart shit, it's going to be an hour episode. So strap in, I hope you have snacks. I have an icy.
It needed to come down to just Pro and myself. It was the only way that we could guarantee our victory. I guess I came here seeking forgiveness. I feel foolish, though.
Oh, it's nothing to be for... It's nothing to... There's nothing to forgive, my lord. I was going to say something else, but then fucking Game of Thrones, back when Game of Thrones was actually still good. You know when Jon Snow was made King of the North? Oh no, I just... Fuck me religiously. I now have that thought of me being at the head of the table and all these fuckers doing the king of... Oh no. Jared, put the goddamn Photoshop down!
Your forgiveness was implied when you removed that curse from me. I mean, you wouldn't do something like that if you resented me, right? But still, having it implied, it's not the same as hearing you say it.
I can tell, what he's after, so I tell him that he's forgiven. To be honest, it's the last thing on my mind right now. If he secured our draconic alliance, it was all worth it.
And that's the thing, though. Forgiveness shouldn't come so easy. When you're on the throne, you need to learn how to punish.
Yes!
I lied to you. I hurt you. I shouldn't deserve your forgiveness.
Then why did he come here asking for it? I tell him that he deserves forgiveness because he meant no ill will. He did what he did out of necessity, to help further our cause and win. Yes, but you're going to come across some instances in the future where... I get where he's getting at. I do. It's back when the conversation I was having with Dominic. You know, you want to try and do the right thing, but at the same time, you need to be stern. You gotta have balls!
I guess what I'm trying to say is, you're lucky it was just your nose. In that moment, I would have done whatever I deemed necessary, Monarch. And given the opportunity, I would do it again. I would go as far as I needed.
Do whatever. It probably improved my appearance.
Do you still think I'm worthy of forgiveness? Who knows what I might have to do during the final battle? The fate of the world is in the balance. I can't hold back.
What's gone into him all of a sudden? He's acting odd, but I try not to bring it to his... Oh, is his mortality coming into light now that it's probably really sunk in now that he himself could probably fucking die, and he's going to do whatever it takes to maybe live? For all I know, he's just anxious about the upcoming battle. But still, I tell him that he's forgiven. I can't hold him accountable for things he hasn't done. What he has done, however, he's more than made up for.
As long as we're both on the same page.
You forgot to say all right.
I expect the same from you. Don't hold back in any way. If I'm in danger, don't stop to help me. You have your goal.
Well, if there's an opportunity to help, I'm gonna help. He wants me to just leave him for dead?
I know what I was getting into when you removed my curse. I'm vulnerable. For the first time in thousands of years. But while I'm vulnerable, I also feel alive, Monarch. It's amazing how much the possibility of death can motivate us.
That's true.
In some ways, that's what drives us to accomplish our goals.
That's true.
Without some sort of end, there's no time for us to seize.
That's true. He would know better than me. I don't think he even knows how... I don't think he even knows how old he is. At that point, the years would start to blur together. My days blur together. I don't even know what day it is now. No, wait, yes I do. It's Sunday night at the time of this recording. That legitimately took me a second to remember. Now that he's facing his mortality. His actions have consequences that could affect the rest of his life. In the past, no matter what he did, he could just outlive the repercussion. I'll tell him I'll do it. I'll leave him behind, only if it's necessary. I do have my goal, but part of that is ensuring my comrades stay alive. The pledge seems to satisfy him enough, and he changes the subject.
Thank you, Monarch. I knew you'd be strong enough to make the tough decisions. Since we met, I've seen nothing but a capable ruler in you.
That is so sad.
And that was before the attack on the Rebel HQ. Remember back in Valinor, when we were at Peregrino? You've been leading this world for much longer than you think.
Is this about keeping it as a bar?
And I have to say, I agree with your choices. Keeping Peregrino as a tavern? I thought about that for a while. Anybody who values alcohol that much is good in my books.
He smiles at me and places a hand on my shoulder.
When I look back on times like that, I realize how far we've come. Complete strangers to loyal comrades, ready to kill false gods. I never would have expected this, but it's not an unwelcome change. I always pledged myself to Domek, but the tables have shifted. The sword arm meant for him now belongs to you, Monarch. I will protect you and do my best to help you liberate this world. It's the least I can do after all. You removed this curse from me. Now that I can die, it's almost as if I know what it's like to be alive. To live without feeling alive, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy.
I mean, well...
Yet the Triumvirate hands it out so freely. They disguise the tightest shackles as the path to freedom. And in our blindness, we accept it without hesitation.
Shakes his head, as if throwing away thoughts of the enemy. A moment later, the hand on my shoulder is removed.
The rebellion, however, strives for true freedom. Salus and Domek, we have them to thank for everything. Even you wouldn't have realized your full potential without them.
That's true. It was Salus who broke Valinor's non-partisan stance. He helped seize the blade and deliver it to me. He knew about my power. He may not know about the monarchy, but he knew enough.
It feels weird saying this, but you might be my first real friend. Those are hard to come by when you're serving the Triumvirate, and harder still to come by when you close yourself off to the world.
I'm touched, but at the same time, if you consider me your only friend, like, honestly, dude, we're both fucked. We're both fucked super hard in terms of social lives.
I'm not used to friends.
Neither am I.
I'm used to people who take advantage of me.
Oh, God.
Whether it's my strength or my sense of honor, they've all been used. When people learn who you are, they might try and use you too, Monarch.
Look, this is hitting too close to home, Ulrich. We should probably change subject.
But when it comes to you, I know that my strength and honor aren't misguided. You can trust me to have your back in the final battle and beyond. I promise. For once, I found a cause I'd be happy to both live and die for.
He smiles, a real genuine smile.
Let's continue this after the battle, alright?
Right.
Unfinished business is just one more reason to survive.
I guess.
In times like these, we need as many of those as we can get.
I nod and see him out of my room. He seems a bit different, but I don't blame him. Anybody would change when given the ability to die. I'm just thankful that he's staying optimistic about it. Makes me realize that he really wanted it. It wasn't a hasty decision. And with that optimism, I know he'd survive and live a long, happy life. He probably won't. Whew. Final stretch. Pro, you're up. We're going to talk about family. I invite Pro over to my room to spend time, some final time together. So everyone else so far, they knocked and saw themselves in. Pro, I apparently asked for his ass to come in here. He has the dangerous task of infiltrating the Triumvirate's castle. There's no telling what would happen, and I could tell he's scared.
So, I guess this is it, huh? You know, I always thought that I'd be ready, but now that we're here, I feel such apprehension.
Nah, don't worry about it, dude. We will all meet our deaths with a smile.
I know the layout of their castle based on past reconnaissance, but when we stole the Blade of Exodus, they weren't expecting us. They know we're here now. For us, this will be a purely uphill battle.
He's right. You can no longer use the element of surprise. We had our strength and our smarts, but would it be enough?
Look at me, freaking out. I don't mean to bring down your morale.
It's at
Let's change
100.
the subject, all right? Is there any wine in this place?
In a library? Actually, probably lots. He looks around the room and is quickly let down.
Of course there isn't. You know, I thought it'd be a given. August is all alone, with nothing but his books and imagination. If there's any type of person who'd live off of wine, it'd be him. It's a lonely life being a writer. It really is. You pour so much emotion into it that you almost run out. Everyone thinks you're giving them the cold shoulder, but you're not. Writing is art. Nobody questions the secluded painter, you know? But the second you close yourself off to write, you're troubled. So many people see it as a joke of a career choice. I almost let that get me down when I was younger. They told me that a writer could never make a decent living. I could have easily given up. But instead, I created a legacy.
He lets out a loud sigh.
And that's what scares me. Even when I give up the swindling life, that won't be enough. Everyone will remember me for who I was, not who I am.
Remember my 2 words of wisdom? Fuck 'em.
And let's be honest, I'm not one of the good guys. I stole secrets, sold them, and ruined people's lives. Look what I did to the rebellion. That's unforgivable.
He looks away from me and shakes his head.
I think I might die during the attack, Monarch. There's no place for me in your new peaceful world. Even if I change, the harm I did will always haunt me.
We live with all of our shit, dude. You think my hands are clean? He turns away and I see him trembling with a little fright.
I want to help you make this world a better place, Monarch. But you don't understand how many people I've wronged in the past. If they seek revenge, they might just target you and all of my friends. And I don't want anybody to get hurt because I was a bad person. I could turn a new leaf, sure, but that doesn't mean my enemies will. If I stay by your side, you and all of our friends will always be targets.
Hey, in the temporary time that I remain to help clean some shit up before I ixnay this Nikshay, Dipsky, the Lipsky back home. You know, what's it called? Master of Whispers? Put a hand on his shoulder and help him turn around. So what if his enemies try to give us hell? We could handle it. If the rulers of the world can't take us down, how could anyone else?
You're right.
We're all one big family. In this together until the end.
I just fear that the end is closer than we think. I don't know what I'd do if I lost any of you during the final battle. I lost my family once. How can I expect to handle that again?
You never lost your family ever. Fuck those people. You always had family right here. I tell him not to worry, that everything would be fine. We have a solid battle plan, and I have the Blade of Exodus. There wasn't anything we could do to stand a better chance at winning.
I guess that's true. Sorry. I was just freaking out. That seems to be a running theme out there in the Atrium. It's impossible to look death in the face and have no regrets. But if you want me to help you rule after this war, I will. Anything you need, I'll always be there to serve you, Monarch. Hopefully I can earn a pardon for all the laws I've broken in the past.
That would be easy. He's already done a lot to help us. He was responsible for our Elorinthian alliance, hands down. He's done his best to atone, and in my opinion, he's succeeded. So I pardon him right here and now. On the dawn of our final battle, he'd become a new man. No longer a swindler, but a trusted servant of the new monarchy. That sounds weird for me to say.
Monarch?
Bro. He looks shocked, almost in disbelief. But rather than question it, he nods, smiling.
Thank you.
De nada. I don't know. I send him all, but not before telling him one important fact. Any enemy of him is an enemy of the new monarchy, and will be dealt with. He thanks me yet again, and leaves with resolve stronger than ever before. Next! Fortane. Someone get this kid a cigar before he probably dies. A knock sounds at my door, and I open it without hesitation. Fortane is there. He looks a bit upset, so I invite him inside. Looking around the room, he lets out a loud and anxious sigh.
I'm gonna be honest, Monarch. I'm scared. Terrified. I don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, climbing the Triumvirate's castle? That's insane.
Motherfucker, you climbed a big-ass tree. You can handle a castle wall.
Not to mention that the entire battle hinges on my success. I have those metallic claws, but I don't know how much that'll help. Their castle is probably made of stone, like this library is.
You will dig deep into whatever squirrel DNA is inside your body and do it. He starts pacing around the room with extreme worry.
What if I fall? What if I get shot by an arrow?
Then don't.
If anything gets in the way, I might not be able to do this. I require extreme focus, you know. This is too much.
I think this man actually does need one of my cigars. Holy shit. I can imagine that climbing during a battle is hard. Normally, the only danger he'd have to worry about is falling off. But during this, he'd be a huge target for any archers nearby.
Sorry to come here in panic like this. It could end up being our last night together after all. There are probably way better ways to spend it than this.
Find a woman, Fortane! Go drink somewhere! He stops pacing around and stops right in front of me. Taking slow breaths, I can tell he's trying to calm down. I let him have his time, and he's back to normal pretty fast.
You know, I've been thinking about what I should do after the war. And I think I want to move to Mazeo. I want to help the nation reform.
Okay.
It's been hurt so much, even by our parents. It deserves happiness. Valessa has her calling as the next Elder of Valenorth. I'd be your scribe, if visions weren't becoming a thing of the past. At the end of the day, it seems like the smartest choice for me to make.
Dude, at this rate, Valessa's probably going to be made the queen, because I'm fucking going home.
That is, if I don't die during the battle tomorrow. I know what you're going to say. Don't worry, you'll be fine.
Look at that, you could be the next
That were
seer.
true. But it's not. We need to be realistic here. There's a chance that we could lose this war tomorrow. There's a chance that all of us could die. A really big chance. We're not immortal.
Well, one of us
We
was,
need to
but
face
I
the
took that
facts,
away from
not live in
him.
denial.
Oh god, I think I shouldn't have done that.
They're all out here in the atrium with so much confidence. But I know that deep down inside, they're scared too. We all have something we're afraid of, you know?
He steps forward and gives me a quick hug. Too much hugging. Way too much hugging. Returning it, I squeeze him before the hug is broken.
You know, it's not death that scares me, Monarch. It's the thought of never seeing my friends again that hurts me. I don't want to lose anybody. I've never been this scared in my life.
I can agree with that. I don't mean to name drop, but Josh, I miss you, buddy. Peace. I tell him that I'm not planning on going any... Oh, no! It's okay, because after my mind is scrubbed, hopefully whatever powers that be scrub everyone's brains here, too. After the war, we'll all be together, living peacefully.
You can't be certain of that, though. Just like I can't be certain that I'll survive. All we can do is try, then hope for the best. So promise me one thing. No heroics, okay? No grand acts of sacrifice. No trading your life. This world needs you after the war. We all need you.
Well, if I kill myself, I can't go home. I agree and tell him that I'll try my best to comply. We're almost at the end. It feels surreal to me. Oh god, yeah.
I guess we'll find all of this out in a few hours anyway, right? It's almost sunrise, and the battle shouldn't be too long. Let's change the subject. I've worried enough.
Okay, cool. What, you collect Yu-Gi-Oh cards or something? I don't know. What subject do you people go on about? He strikes a thinking pose and remains silent for a few moments.
Oh, here we go. If we win, we'll have a huge party. A party that the world will talk about forever. We can give everybody Mazayan apples.
Hop! Diggity dog! I smile, being happy that he's happy. I tell him that we'll have the biggest party the world has ever seen. And if we try our best to work together, we'll win this battle with ease.
Sweet! Then I can't wait. I'll let you get back to what you were doing, Monarch. This isn't goodbye after all. We'll be seeing each other again for sure.
He leaves my room with a smile, a direct counterpoint to how he entered. That brings me a sense of ease. We need to have a clear head right now. It's almost time for the attack. I should make wise use of the time I have left. We're at the end of our episode. Yes, I wasn't joking. I wasn't going to split this up into two. Enough of that bull crap. Last heart to heart. With Valessa, the girl that I accidentally made fall in love. I'm a terrible person, but I don't care. I invite Valessa into my room, since she's unable to get to sleep. That seems to be the case with almost everybody. We were too worried to sleep. She scans the room, taking in all the sights. It really was an impressive place to behold.
This room is pretty cool, Monarch. Makes sense that you'd get it too. Must feel good, being royalty and all.
God, it sucks, girl. Do you want this room? Look, if I had a sleep number, girl, it would probably be 100. Boop. Because I have legitimately had the best night's rest of my entire life sleeping on the floor.
I'm pretty confident. After hearing Domic's plan, I get to follow you to the castle too, so it makes me happy. You can trust me to have your back if anything bad happens.
Cool. You're gonna use that bow and arrow set on your back, right? Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
I've been practicing with those daggers I got from Mazeo, actually. They took some getting used to, but I think I can hold my own. Not that those suits of armor require much to take down.
Yeah, you can really just push them over, actually. But you have a bow and arrow on your back. Do you plan on using that? It's true, they were pretty weak. The Triumvirs focused on a quantity, not quality. Hopefully that would be their downfall as we proceeded.
To be honest, I'm really scared that we might not survive. I mean, victory usually comes at a cost, but what will we pay? If I make it out of this without my friends, I'll just feel so hollow.
Oh, Jesus.
Especially since I'm expected to lead Valinor. After all,
you're going to be expected to lead a lot more than that.
You and Fortem, I just feel so lost in this world. You give me strength, and I'll be needing that strength.
I should not be seen as your rock girl. Oh, no. I tell her that I'm not planning on going, oh, no. Whatever comes next, we'd handle it as a team. We didn't come this far just to perish in the end, said everyone before they were killed.
I really need to stop thinking so far ahead. This is the eve of our final battle. I should focus on that. Getting lost in thought on the battlefield would be the death of me. So, let's just enjoy this moment, shall we? This might be the last time we're able to hang out. I hate to tarnish it by freaking out and acting stupid.
You want to hang out? What exactly did you have in mind? I tell her that it's fine. I enjoy her company regardless. Besides, I'm sharing a lot of the same worry. We're in this together. When we met up to launch the attack, we'd have no idea what came next.
Well, at least I don't feel so alone anymore. Fortum is always so carefree.
No, he's not.
No matter what
He was a
happens.
nervous wreck.
Talking to him, you'd never guess that we could all die here.
No, I was just talking to him. He's a nervous wreck.
Before I stop being so gloomy, can you promise me one thing? It'll make me feel a lot better, and morale is what we need right now.
Mm-hmm. I nod, but it's really dependent on what the favor entails.
If I do end up dying out there, I just want Valinor to be okay. Can you promise me that you'll find a capable elder to replace me? They don't have to share my views. I just want our home to prosper.
It will be fine, girl. I nod. That's definitely something I could do for her. That is, if I survived, but I don't display such doubt right now. It's best that I try to look strong and resolute for all my allies.
Good. Then we can move on to better things. You know, I've been thinking about how far we've come. We've seen so much, and I feel like a totally different person.
We did see a lot of people die.
I wonder what would have happened if things were different. What if your induction ceremony wasn't cancelled? What if you never got that deceiving vision?
What if I was never brought to this world? She steps forward and places her hands in mine.
Would we still be as close as we are right now? You know, that moment we shared in Mazeo was so special. Given time, I want this bond to grow even stronger. Do you?
Please don't give me choice. Please don't give me choice. Please don't give me choice. I nod. I made the choice to... I guess my mistake, but I chose to commit to it. What started off as a mistake, I chose to commit to. This is all on me. But she's right. We might not be this close if enough for all the hardships. At least it's proof that even in war, beautiful things can still happen.
I don't want to rush this and do something stupid.
Like what?
Part of me wants to, given the circumstances.
Like what?
Let's just make a vow. We'll both survive and take things slow.
Okay, what do you mean you don't want to rush in and do something stupid? Like what? We're about to rush in and do something incredibly stupid. We're going into a battle, girl! With a smile, she squeezes my hand, and I do so in return. Like, I don't really... I'm standing there with a smile going, I don't really know what you meant by that, but okay. Okay. Taking a step forward, she places a soft kiss on my cheek. I smile back and wrap my arms around her as tight as I can.
I really hope we make it through this.
I try not to get sad, but my eyes tear up ever so slightly. Hugging her tighter, I rub my hands up. Why are we petting her? What? If a human pets an anthro, is that racist? I'm terrible. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. We've come too far to lose each other. That's what I tell her.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Unforgettable. A few months later, we break the hug. But when I do, I feel closer than we ever have before.
Thank you so much for inviting me over, Monarch. I feel a lot better than I did just a few minutes ago. I guess I'll see you when we gather to launch the attack.
Which is in a few minutes, or the next episode, ladies and gentlemen. I nod. That time was fast approaching. I see her out of the room, and let out a huge sigh. Talking to my friends for maybe the last time, it's crushing me. But if I didn't, and they perished, I'd regret it forever. That's the excuse I give myself for enduring this pain. Turning to face the big open room. I wonder what's next. I know exactly what's next. We're gonna be hitting this button to progress with the story. Next time! Where's my save? Double checking to make sure it's done. We're still at good morale. Woohoo!